edition of India Tonight. Now it's World Heart Day today, and that's why let's talk about the kind of problems we've had in the recent past, especially more than 17 million individuals have lost their lives to heart disease each year. And of course, the numbers have been going up. So we're looking at more cases of heart attacks, strokes, and these two are the most common causes in death as far as our country is concerned. So today, on World Heart Day, let's find out ways to lead a better lifestyle and perhaps improve the conditions of our hearts. Dr Mahesh Deshpande is joining us. He is MD Medicine and DNB Cardiology at Dr Hedgewar Hospital, BAVP. Great to have you with us, Doctor. Thanks for making the time and joining us on India Tonight. You know, my first question up front, Doctor, is why are cardiovascular diseases on the rise the way they are? Because many of them seem to be afflicting those who seem to be leading healthy lifestyles, and many of them are very young as well. And they're throwing in exercise into busy schedules, making sure that they have a good lifestyle. Then why are we seeing this rise?
Yeah, thanks, Vikram, for having me. First of all, let us understand that what we are seeing is one of the common presentations of coronary artery disease. It is called sudden cardiac death or acute coronary syndromes. So those who appear quite healthy apparently, those who are regularly hitting gyms, doesn't mean that they are free from coronary artery disease. You have so many young and prominent personalities in the recent past who have suffered coronary episodes in the gym, in concerts, and all of us are appalled by the kind of tragedies we have seen. So this is probably for everybody of us to realize that unless you have a proper checkups in place, you should not be overconfident and should not live in ignorance. Secondly,
yes.
The second part of your question, yes, that why we are seeing it more frequently in India, unfortunately, I'll say we are doomed. We have genetics which predisposes us to be more vulnerable to this kind of eventualities, including coronary artery disease, all metabolic diseases. And that's why we should be more cautious and should get evaluated early.
So getting regular evaluations perhaps might be the only way out. But we're hearing from a recent survey that was done by a health tech firm that 6 in every 10 Indians have these abnormal levels of bad cholesterol. And it's been spotted especially in people in the age bracket of 31 and 40. I'm just wondering, through your experience, can you ratify that and tell us what are the underlying reasons for this? Is it stress levels, our unhealthy eating habits, our lifestyles, or like you're saying, does it boil down to genetics?
Partly the genetics is to blame, but definitely we have fastly adapted to a Western lifestyle in terms of food, in terms of our leisure time activities. But sadly, we don't have that kind of genetic makeup to cope with that. So adaptation of the fast food culture, adaptation of more Zooming, more Netflix, and more movies, rather than going out and working in the field, playing field games, that has probably made us more vulnerable. So as you say correctly, this particular age group, which is the most productive age group, is seeing more rise in the coronary artery disease. And unfortunately, they have a very high mortality as you compare with those who are probably more than 60 years of age. So we are facing a lot of loss of man years and loss of, you can say, the earnings, which could probably be done by these working individuals in that age group.
Doctor, there must be ways to combat this. Besides, of course, regular checks. We're also hearing about the impact of high blood pressure and hypertension as we age. I'm just wondering, what are the best ways to guard ourselves against all these problems right now and maintain good heart health?
See, you rightly pointed out, if you take among all the risk factors that we have for coronary artery disease, the hypertension weighs the most heavy. If you just take care of hypertension, you can probably bring down the deaths by more than 40% in the entire population. And as everybody knows, but there is gap between what you know and how you act. So the simple ways to get yourself heart healthy is, first is to shun all addictions. I will say it is an A, B, C, D, E of healthy heart. A is to avoid addictions. B is take care of your blood pressure, bring it under control with proper medication. C is probably take care of your body weight, that is control your weight, control your metabolism in a better way. D is diabetes or sugar management. Those who are diabetics are more prone for coronary artery disease almost 4 times more prone than non-diabetics. So take care of your sugars and ease for exercise. Any exercise which is done for 30 minutes, at least 5 times a week, is sufficient enough to give a good amount of cardio protection. If you can exercise more, it's better. But if not, at least 30 minutes and any form of exercise.
What about
Lastly, I can add F to it, which is for fresh fruits and vegetables,
Yes.
which I think we are missing.
In fact, that's what I was asking you in terms of the products that are available, food products that are available. There are so many. There are so many diets out there as well. And many of them subscribe in order to lose weight, sometimes all too quickly. We tend to go with certain diets, certain fat diets as well. Now, do they really get in the way of leading a healthy lifestyle? And does it impact our heart conditions as well when you follow these diets that could be very temporary in nature? And there's so much that is spoken about when it comes to intermittent fasting as well. So one doesn't really know what's good for us and what is not, especially when it comes to the impact it has on our heart health.
See, when it comes to your lifestyle modifications, or for that matter, any form of diets or exercises, what I personally feel is what is more sustainable, what can go with your personality, in sync with your attitude and schedule, is better. There are certain diets such as Danish diet, Mediterranean diet, intermittent fasting, which have various effects on various individuals. So there is not one solution which can fit all, but definitely whichever is sustainable, you have to follow. And for that, you should just take care of basic few things, such as cut down your sugars, cut down processed fats, take as much as natural fruits and vegetables. And with these basic guidelines, I think any of the diets can work good for you.
Smoking, as we know, is a very bad habit, doctor, and we'd like everyone to do less and less or none of it. But is there something like a safe level of smoking, of how many cigarettes one can do in a day's time? Because that keeps coming up as a question too.
There is no safe limit because, as you say, it's a poison. So a minuscule amount of poison will also lead to slow poisoning. So tobacco is a strict no in any form. For that matter, there is debate about the safe levels of drinking, but there are recent papers which also junk the initial hypothesis that red wine is good for heart, which many proponents of social drinkers advise. But to the contrary, the literature doesn't support it. So I'll say there is no safe limit, especially totally no for tobacco, because we are losing so many young lives to tobacco in India.
And when it comes to men and women, is there a difference when it comes to having a healthy heart? Are women less prone to heart attacks compared to men? Is it true that their protection against heart attacks is weaker, especially after menopause?
Actually, till the women are having their menstrual cycles, they are protected because of the protective effects of the reproductive hormones. But over the years, this protection seems to be losing because of the change in the lifestyle of women also. There are more women who are probably taking to smoking, using of tobacco. And over the years, it is seen that the protection is almost gone. Rather, the women are having very atypical symptoms, making it difficult for them to diagnose. They are found to be less prone or less propensity to seek medical help for these symptoms. And the doctors, unfortunately, are probably not treating them very seriously because of the previous assumption of protection in the menstrual age. So there are more deaths in that particular age group. So any women, even in the menstrual age group, should give proper significance to all the body symptoms which are typical of coronary artery disease.
Dr. Deshpande, it's such a pleasure having you on the show. Thanks for busting some of those myths and telling us how to lead a better lifestyle, because at the end of the day, it's about a healthy heart that is going to help us not just live longer, but also live better. And that's essentially something that we'd wish for everyone out there, and certainly so on World Heart Day. Thanks very much, Doctor, for joining us on India Tonight.